If you don't know Alex Kade, he's a DJ, producer, songwriter. 97,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, 106,000 Instagram followers, 176,000 on TikTok, known for his anime remixes and anime raves, founder of We Touch Grass, an anime rave performed in over 40 cities around the world across the USA, Canada, and Europe, with plans to expand into Asia, the Middle East, Africa, Australia, and South America. Please give me a round of applause for Alex Kade.
I don't know where you found that information from. That went on my LinkedIn.
Easy Google.
Yeah.
Just Instagram.
Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you.
So tell us, because I know you from a little bit from the beginning, but how did it start? Because a lot of us are at different steps of the journey. Yes. How did you begin?
Yeah. So how I started with all of this stuff is I've always loved music as a kid. I feel like most of us, we had that love as a kid. My parents, people of color, they're from Hong Kong. I told my dad I want to pursue music, I think when I was 14. He just laughed at me at the dinner table. I went upstairs and cried. And so at that point, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, right? And so it was just, luckily in high school, I had teachers who supported me. I went to college for music for a bit. I went to York University for a year. And then I went to Humber College for 2 years, and then I dropped out because I'm like, you don't need music school to make it in the music industry. At first, I want to be a session drummer. I want to be like Travis Barker, like drumming for artists and stuff, bands. But then after doing that for a bit, I got bored of that. Like for me, I was lazy. I didn't want to practice as much as my friends who were my competition in the city. People didn't have too much money until you got to the big leagues, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something completely different. And so that's when I saw Matt McGuire of the Chainsmokers. So Chainsmokers, I don't know if you guys ever seen their live shows, but they have a live drummer, and then so I really, really like this drummer guy. And then I thought, okay, how can I be that drummer guy, but also be at the front of the stage? And so that's sort of how Alex Kade was born. I'm like, you know what? Alex Kade used to be 2 people, actually, before I just took on the whole moniker. We want a band that sounded like Billy Talent, except it's multiple people. I always thought Billy Talent was 1 person, but Alex Kade, it used to be 2 people, but then, business-wise, it didn't work out too much, and so I just wanted to be by myself after a bit. So with what I'm known for now, being a DJ, an artist, a business owner, how that started was with the anime stuff. At first, I think it was during the pandemic where I was just about to release my very, very first record, and then everything shut down. I was supposed to have a whole release party, record all these videos and stuff, but then pandemic shut everything down. So I'm like, crap, I don't know what to do. One of my friends, Rowan, from this band called Karalanka, he told me, hey, you have all these videos from YouTube. So when I was in high school and stuff, I made all these drum covers, and I kind of kept that up through college until I was 19, 20. And he told me, you have all these drum covers, all these videos that you've already made for your Instagram, for your YouTube, just post up on TikTok and just see what happens, right? The very first video I ever posted on TikTok, 400,000 views in one night. It was just a video that I had just sitting on my phone, and that's how I saw, okay, this is the power of social media. I've been posting always, but then when I saw oh, that's how strong TikTok is, let me hop on TikTok. And since then, I think when everything locked down, I just doubled down on TikTok, posting 3 videos a day, 4 videos a day, trying to go viral again. I had a few viral videos here and there, but it was just everything that I was doing wasn't working. I was still, focusing on my music production though, songwriting and all of that. And then it wasn't until I think I met an artist. I was just making all these I was making all these remixes of just random sounds, random artists, sounds, and music. I made a remix of this girl called Emily Vu. She saw it, told me to finish it within 24 hours, right? Released it on her label. And then after that, that's when everything started rolling in. They saw, how I started with these remixes. I'm so sorry if I'm ADHD and just bouncing all over the place. It gets to the final one, I promise. But I was asking so many of my friends, can I remix your song? Can I remix your song? Can I remix your song? All of them said no. I got 50 no's. Everyone said no. This random girl on TikTok, 1.8 million followers. They're finish it in 24 hours, I'll release it, right? And so I did that, right? Released it, and then that's when people just started asking me, yo, can you remix my stuff? Can you remix my stuff? Can you remix my stuff? The same people who said no to me, right? So that's a lesson in itself. Now, so I started, remixing more artists on TikTok, but then also things were starting to open back up. This was around 2021 now. I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I get back out there? I want to perform, I want to play shows. And so I was talking to one of my mentors. Guys, try your best to find mentors, people who are just like, a few steps ahead of you, right? They will help you so much, friends, family, whatever, but mentors, super important. But I was lucky enough to have a mentor who is Asian, and he told me, if you want to perform, you're an Asian too, anime conventions are low-key really racist, and they will hire you just because you're Asian, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. I actually liked anime. I really I enjoy anime music. So I started remixing anime songs, right? These openings that I loved as a kid. I started turning them into EDM on TikTok. So I think I did that for about like 3.5, 4 months, right? Just posting stuff, nothing really working. And then all of a sudden, so I had this one video. So this is the video that sparked everything. So I don't know if you guys know the anime Demon Slayer. The first season song, really, really popular, but I made a video for that. First time I posted, nothing. Second time I posted, maybe like 1,000 views. Third time, 800 views. Fourth time, 1.6 million views. I didn't change the video at all, right?
Just posting it like again and again?
Again and again and again and again. So if you follow me on TikTok or like Instagram right now, you'll see, like, if you scroll through my page enough, you'll see, like, why do I see the same 5 videos? Just like, because I post enough that no one's gonna notice, right? And if they do notice, luckily, they like me enough not to, like, call me out on it. And some people call me out on it, and I'm like, I don't care. The amount I post, like, it helps me make my lunch money back, right? Contributes to my streams, contributes to ticket sales and all that stuff. So with that 1.6 million view cover, I saw, or that remix, I saw, okay, I actually have something here. Let me double down on it. Let me just keep trying to replicate how I got that virality. So I started remixing other anime songs. Those went viral as well. I'm like, okay, I got something. So that's when I started emailing all these anime conventions, every single convention in North America. So this was about like 60-something conventions, just going on LinkedIn, finding people's emails, really just finding any connections, going on their Facebook groups and stuff, and just being like, whose email do I need to contact to like play here? And then I think out of this like the 60 I contacted, 50 just ignored me. 9 of them said no. Nope, 8 of them said no. 1 of them said like, we can give you $300. I'm like, and it was in the States, so you need like a visa to play in the States. I'm like, I can't do that. And only 1 actually said yes with like enough money, and so that was in Calgary. So luckily, played a show in Calgary, brought some of my friends over. We planned out, okay, we're gonna film all this content at our show. We're gonna give an amazing show, right? And plan a bunch of content around that as well, right? We finished the show, it went amazingly, recorded all the content, posted it. A bunch of those videos went viral. After that, someone from LA saw me. They booked me for the biggest anime convention in North America called Anime Expo. I went to play that. That was my first time ever DJing. So my first show, I didn't know how to DJ, right? I just had someone else DJ for me. This next show, I didn't know how to DJ, but they wanted me to DJ. So I didn't tell them I didn't know how to DJ, right? But then they're like, here's 10 grand. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to DJ. I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm gonna learn how to DJ, right? And so there's 10 grand, right? Flew over to LA. A bunch of those videos went viral. Same thing. I just did the exact same thing.
You need a visa for that?
Yes. Yeah, you need a visa. Yeah. It wasn't too expensive. Like visas to play in the U.S. is like about like 800 Canadian. So it's not that bad, right? If you have enough shows. But same thing. I found people to help me record content. I planned a bunch of content around my set, right? Those videos went viral. Again, I got booked for a show in Montreal. Do the same thing, right? And same exact strategy.
What kind of content ideas did you have?
We're going to get to that at the end, all right? I think you guys, if you guys have questions, write them down, save them.
Yeah.
I'm going to be around after this talk if you want to ask as well, and then I think we're going to have a Q&A session.
I didn't want to
at
be
the end.
like big interrupt.
You all good, all good.
You're good, bro.
Yeah. But same thing, doubling down. Let's plan content. Let's make sure the show is amazing. Plan content around this show. A bunch of those videos went viral. Did the same thing in Arizona. A bunch of those videos went viral. So after this, I tried to email all these anime conventions again. A lot of them did respond this time, but I just found out they didn't have the money to pay me what I wanted, pay me what I was worth to go down there. Because I'm not playing a show for $500. I'm not playing a show for like $300. Like I want like 5 grand, 10 grand for this stuff, because that's how much I was paid that first time. All right, so I decided, if no one's gonna pay me what I'm worth, let me pay myself what I'm worth. So that's how I created We Touch Grass. So now I'm the CEO and founder of a brand called We Touch Grass. This is the North America and possibly the world's largest anime-themed nightclub event. We operate in over 75 cities. We should have about like 60,000 people attending our events this year. We sold 26,000 tickets last year, right? So we're just growing and growing and growing. How that started was, I ran my very first show at the supermarket down in Kensington. All I had to do, right, rent the venue, sell tickets, and just market it. And luckily, I had a video that I recorded, I think, back from that first show in Calgary back in 2020. That was like my very first show. That one went viral again. I just reposted the exact same thing. I reposted it, 1.6 million views on that recap video, and then that sold 400 tickets 6 weeks before the show, right? So I didn't even have to spend a single dime on marketing. And when I saw that, that's when I saw, okay, like this is gonna be what's gonna help support my music, this business, right? So I borrowed up some money from my parents, borrowed a bunch of money from the bank, took out my own savings, right? I went all in, right? I think I spent about like 70,000 on that first year, right? Like it wasn't like all 70,000 all at once. It was like 20,000 of my own money, right? We made like 25,000 back in, right? Made 30,000 back in, borrowed like 5,000 from my parents, right? Put that back in, right? Just growing. We did 20 shows that first year, 13,000 tickets. We only spent like we spent like 50,000 in marketing, but we made $300,000, right? And so like that's the math. And so every year, thank you guys. And so with all this, I'm making money, I'm playing these shows, but I'm like, obviously I still want to, like, I love anime, but I want to be doing other things too. So just using all this attention that I've been getting to leverage, right? Leverage my career opportunities. So like, with all these shows, people started reaching out. They're like, hey, I want to work with you. I'm like, all right, like, are we gonna make a song together and stuff? And so that's how I got in touch with this artist called Kade. Made a big song with her. That's about like, it's nearly like 2 million streams. So it's not like massive, but like, it's big enough where people are gonna start turning heads. That got me up to like 50,000 monthly listeners consistently. So I started leveraging that and just like pitching myself out to like bigger artists and labels and managers to see like, who would even give me the attention. I haven't met, like people gave me attention. I haven't met people that I wanted to work with. There was just like no good synergy. But having these numbers, having like all the social media following, having all this business success, having just building all this up from social media helped me gain all these opportunities. And I keep leveraging, those numbers to keep getting more opportunities. Like the other day, or last night, I was working on a proposal with a really big company, $20,000, 20,000 US, right? That's what I was working for, so I spent like 6 hours on that proposal. But I would not have gotten that opportunity. Like I don't know if I'm even gonna get hired for that, but there's no way I would have been hired for that if I only had like 5,000 followers. If I only posted that Demon Slayer video like twice. No, I've posted that like I think at least like 10 times throughout my life. And same with like all these videos. I was doing 3 videos a day in 2020, throughout 2021 as well. Last year, I think I posted at least 300 to 400 videos on TikTok alone, right? I think like only like 2 to 3% of them went viral, but that's 2 to 3%. That's all you need, right? From April, I was talking to Spitty about this, who's an amazing content creator, by the way, so if you guys need help, hit him up. From April until December, I had not a single viral video, right? And then December, 15 million views across like a bunch of videos, right? So that's kind of like the consistency that you gotta go with if you want to make it. My strategy is different from like some other artists like Chill, who Eunice just showed, right? She posts not as much as me, but then whenever she posts, it's a lot more effective, right? But for me, I'm like, I have a strategy now where I'm like, I spend maybe an hour at most on my content strategy, right? And then I have like enough posting for a full week. So like spending an hour on 4 times 7, on 28 videos. I spend an hour to post 28 videos for the whole week, right? And that's my views. Like if she's getting like 35,000 views on one video, right, per week, right, I'm getting like 50,000, 60,000 across the whole week. And it only takes me an hour to do that. So that's my strategy. But that's basically like a gist of what I do, Content creator, songwriter, DJ, artist, business owner. And I think it's really important to, if you are trying to pursue a career in the music industry, at the starting level, you really have to be your own boss. You really have to be your own CEO and understand how to grow a business, right? Like what it takes. Like, I made this money. I got this money from my job. Am I going to spend it on drinks or am I going to spend it on ads so I can boost my music up? Am I going to spend it on a ticket to here so I can meet more people and collaborate with more people? Does that make sense? Yeah.
My question to you is, thank you. That was a lot, and that was great. You pivoted a lot, it sounds like. How do you know when and how to pivot? Because like, is it a numbers thing or like, what is it for you?
I took a course at U of T. It was like about $500 for like 8 classes. It was really good. This guy, like, he had like a $30 million business, and he was just telling us how to be business-minded. And so I just applied this to music. The lesson that he taught me was, you want to keep failing. You want to keep trying things out as quick as possible, fuck up, right? And then you learn from that fuck up and you try something else, and you try something else, and you try something else. So like, you've seen me pivot so much like over the last few years because I saw that this isn't working. I don't particularly like doing this. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. And then once I found something that works, I'm like, let me double down on this and see if it keeps working. Sometimes it'll like work for a bit and it'll stop. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me learn my lessons. Let me analyze what just happened, why it didn't work, right? And let me try something else. Like, let me reiterate on that. And so the more you fail, the more you learn. And the more you learn, you just get better and efficient at all this stuff. So that's why I pivot so much.
So when you say like trying something and failing, does your metric for success change, or is it always like a money thing, or is it like does it just depend on is it like a view thing?
Yeah.
Does it depend on what you're doing?
I think it's important to set goals whenever you're doing anything. You want to be doing something for a reason. Like if you're just posting content endlessly, but you don't know why, then you gotta like step back and figure out, why am I posting this content? Am I practicing my content creation skills? Am I trying to reach someone on social media? Is there a certain audience I'm trying to target? Am I, if you're a producer, am I trying to get more clients? Am I trying to reach out to more people? So it's just really figuring out your goals, right? And so for my goals, it was always, usually right now, it's a mix of like, okay, how do I get more ticket sales for my shows? Like whether I'm playing it or Research Grass is running it, or is this video gonna go viral and is it gonna connect me to other people? And obviously like there's like little branches that go underneath all that. But like those are like the two main things that I'm focusing on right now in my career.
So I guess with the videos sometimes going viral and sometimes they're not really working as you expected, at which point did you feel like, okay, this is going to be a consistent business for me? This is not like completely dependent on the next viral video, which I don't know when will be coming. And how did you know that this was like sustainable for you and that you wanted to like keep going all in on that?
I didn't.
Right.
It's just, again, trying stuff out and just failing constantly, learning lessons. Like I might think like something, so remixing artists, I thought that was sustainable, right? I was doing so much, I think I put out like the first year, 2020, I put out like 6 to 7 remixes, right? For different artists between August and November. So that was a lot. Some of them paid me, but it wasn't enough to be sustainable. And the amount of work I was doing it wasn't like, it was like a lot of work because I really, really care about my records, as well as it wasn't where I wanted to go, like personally. With like, I just don't want to keep like remixing artists. I want to make my own music. And then with the artists that I was working with, they were paying me, but like I didn't actually want to work with this artist. It's just that they had a bag, right? So I'm like, okay, they paid me. I'm gonna work with them. But like, I want to be working with like Skrillex. I don't want to be working with like Joe with 2 followers, right? But they paid me like 2K, and that's what I needed back then. So just seeing your needs and where you want to be at that point. But I didn't know if things were gonna work out. Luckily with We Touch Grass, it did. But then like things have failed. I've failed like so many times before, and that's just like the worst that could happen. I'm like pretty privileged. I'm like, I have enough of a brain to know that if I fail this, if I like lose all my money, I could just go get a job at H&M and just like, kind of live on the streets, live in like a trap house or something for a bit, right? And then like build myself back up because I've built up that tough skin, right? So the worst that can happen isn't that bad. Like I'm not dying, right? I survived, right? It's like a 4 out of 10 on how bad it is, right? I'm broke, but let me just build that back up because I've learned all these lessons from the thing I built before. That make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Yeah, I guess for your content, there's obviously several different types of content you would be trying out, like, things like,
no, wait, which way? Keep going, I'm so sorry, I'm listening.
Several types of content that you would be trying out. Like, how do you know when you're gonna try out this type of content, when you're gonna, okay.
All right, so now we get into why I think a lot of you guys are here. How to go viral on TikTok. My strategy is slightly different from what I'm about to show you right now, and also I'll explain my strategy too. But how I first started was just seeing what is trending on these platforms, right? TikTok. If you download TikTok and just go in the search bar, right? You can see like the hashtag, like literally this. Like this is from I think a couple years ago, but the interface is still the same. You can see like exactly like what has a fuck ton of views, right? And you can like sort it by the date, right? To see like what has been trending, what hashtag has been trending over the last week, last month, and seeing, is there any topic there that interests you, right? Say like, what's over there? Instagram stories, nothing's interesting. EDC is coming up, right? So, I'd say, on Monday, you're gonna see a bunch of videos from EDC. You're also gonna see a bunch of new music that artists dropped on EDC. Something that you could do is just, I think, like, so last year, I remember this one remix. It was from, I think, I'm not sure if it's Ultra or EDC, but Martin Garrix dropped that remix with Arcando and Chainsmokers. I forgot what it's called, but it's a really good fucking remix, and that fucking went viral, right? People started making remixes of that remix. That stuff went viral. So like seeing like what's happening in the world that interests you, and then trying that out and seeing what works. So Google Analytics is a good one too. Look at the news, like fucking, if Trump says something fucking stupid, right? You can take his words and remix that shit. I did that once with Trump. It got like, it wasn't like huge, it got like 10,000 views, right? I did that with, what's his name? What's the basketball player that played for Raptors for a year and left? Kawhi. I remixed Kawhi's laugh, right? That got like 20,000 views, right? Not a ton, but like just see like what is trending that I could have fun with, right? You know, because we're in music because we love it and it's fun. But what is trending right now that could go viral? But then there's the opposite side of like things that I do, because I don't really follow this stuff anymore. Luckily, I have like, enough of a platform. But where am I? Nope. I'll explain this later. But kind of thinking about what do you enjoy? Looking at artists that you enjoy, like maybe you could just copy their content. I think. Here, let me go there. So this is a bunch of stuff. Can we like scroll and click on stuff? Do you know how to? Are we gonna share this with all the ticket holders? I don't know these slides. I
don't think so, but I can take this slide specifically.
Yeah.
And send it to everyone.
So I'm sure you guys follow a bunch of artists on Instagram and TikTok, right? And if you don't, you really should. If you want to get better at social media, right? Same thing with writing music. Let me fucking go back. Nope. Same thing with writing music. If you want to get better at social media, you need to consume good social media, objective social media that goes viral, right? Because how are you supposed to make a good song without knowing what a good song sounds like? How are you supposed to make a good video on social media if you don't know what a good video on social media looks like? And like, I'm saying good, like objectively viral, right? Ray Volpe does it a lot. Crank That does a lot. What other DJs? Chainsmokers, they go very viral with their comedy videos and stuff. Who else does a lot of production videos? Tynan, he goes pretty viral on his videos. Riot 10 has been doing some other stuff. For non-music people, I have a friend called Tom Frayne. Or for non-EDM people, I have a friend named Tom Frayne. He does a lot of indie singer, songwriter, pop stuff. There's this guy called Coven Way. He's from Toronto, right? He does a lot of TikTok stuff that's like not EDM related, but he's still going viral. But it's all the same stuff. So looking at artists who are going viral and just copying their shit, seeing how you don't copy and be like, oh, this is almost what he's doing. Copy it to the T. Like, is there a way I can like show an example of a video?
I can pick one.
Yeah.
Go to the one that you wanted.
Yeah.
Go to the slide that you wanted.
Can you just go to TikTok.com actually?
Any of these are the
Or
ones?
if you can go, can you show browser? And like, again, I'm like a bit of an ADHD person. I hope this is making sense to you. But if you have questions, just leave them all. I'm a lot better when it's like a one-on-one. It's all these videos. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway. Oh, you doing it? But what I'm about to show you is a video that I copied like as close as TikTok.com. A video that I like literally just copied like shot for shot, capture for capture. Hey, Lyrian! Okay.
So handsome.
Bruh.
Okay, so I have this video right here. This is our friend Cass, actually, right? So you can see. Right, so this video, I wrote, the crowd was not prepared. In that beginning shot, I zoomed in on my friend making that face. Right, I think that's what helped it go viral. Now, I'm gonna show you where I fucking copied that. Because I didn't think of that idea myself. Yeah, these fuckers. Oh yeah. This is I'm calling them out of love, guys. Okay, wait, where's it? Okay, this is the video that I copied. The crowd was not prepared when he played that song. Remember my caption? The crowd was not prepared. Same caption. And what this guy does, right? You can see he zooms in on faces as soon as there's faces. Face. 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 You see, like, I'm actually copying the video. Like, my video is like almost exactly the same as that, except I just kept zooming in on the same face because she's making so many facial expressions. But that's how you go viral on TikTok. Like, seeing, like, you know, content that resonates with you. Like, I feel like most of us are DJs here. You're showing off your music. You can make something like that. You know, if you get a few friends, right, hang out, you play a show with JSTDRMN, right? You can get a few videos like that, right? And then you just copy exactly what all these other huge content creators are doing. You don't just like put a headline and just leave it. No, analyze it second by second. What are they doing specifically? And how can I replicate that? And then seeing, you know, if that's going to go viral. And obviously, like, posting it a few more times, right? Referencing it with some other videos. That's how I would say that my content strategy is now. Because, like, I can follow those trends, but, like, if nothing's resonating with me and I want to make a video to keep, you know, pushing my brand, then I'll just kind of go back and see, like, okay, what do I want to show off? What part of my art? Do I have a song I want to show off? Is there DJing skills that I want to show off? Is there a songwriting that I want to show off? Is there just something I want to show off to the world? Because that's what we're doing as artists and on social media. You want to show yourself as well as you can, and then have people follow you because of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then so I think these are just a bunch of super, super simple video clips that you guys can all copy, right? They're like actually super, super simple. I'm gonna ask Theo to send that to you guys after this, right? But these are examples that you can just copy, and don't like half-ass copy them. Copy them to the T, as close as possible, and I guarantee you, like within, I say like 30 days, you know, if you're within 30 days, you will go viral if you have a good content idea. And so kind of going back to this, if you write a bad song and you put like $1,000 into production, mastering, whatever, it's still gonna be a bad song. Same with your content idea. If your content idea is just like not that strong, it's not that good, you can post it like 1,000,000 times, you can get someone to edit it, and it's not gonna look good, or it's not gonna do well on social media. But like, you guys know that meme with the look at this graph? Yeah, y'all know that. Like that got like I think like 40-something million views on YouTube. Right? And obviously like it's different from what we're doing, but it was like filmed with a potato. Like there's so many videos that we see that go viral on TikTok, right? With DJs that like the sound quality is absolute garbage, the video is absolute garbage, but it goes viral because just the content is enticing, encapsulating, right? So it's all on your content ideas, and how you're gonna get better at making content is the same as how you're gonna get better at DJing, at producing, by just doing it more. All right, so like what I'd say, you can start, depending on how busy you are, because I know you guys have schedules, work and stuff, but you know, try going for like posting consistently for 1 video a week for like the next 2 months, right? 8 videos, right? If you want to push yourself, try 2 videos a week, right? So now you're going to be twice as experienced as the person who's only posting once a week, right? And if you want to go 3 times a week, right? It's not that much work, you know. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys, how much you guys work, around 40 to 50 hours, but like that's still a lot of hours in your day for you to, or in your week, for you to put into your content creation. If you're able to post like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, you're getting that much more experience than the other person, right? And obviously you don't want to compare, but also like I am competitive, so I like seeing like, you know, what my friends are doing, like friendly competition. But that's just how you're going to get better, by doing it more often, right? That's why I'm sure there's some like amazing DJs, amazing producers in here because you guys do it so often. But your social media content is crap because you don't do it. That's the only reason. It's not because you're a bad musician, not because you're a bad artist. It's just you just don't work on your content creation. And like, why would you be good if you don't practice this skill? It's like, you know, writing with your other hand. You never do it, right? Why would you be good with writing with your other hand? You know what I mean? So that's how I think of my content ideas.
So, my question to you is, like, because I do social media as well, so I already know the answer to this. But like, and I can second the whole copying people because I've also done that, and it's also worked well for me, like really well for me as well. But like, obviously there is a lot of different kinds of DJ content out there, a lot that we see that doesn't do well and a lot that does do well. In your experience, I've seen this in my experience, but for you, have you seen that there is a type of like, not vibe, but like a way of looking at your music and content and how you should reflect it? Like, for example, is it like, oh, I released my new song, here it is, versus something else?
So
What's
the
your
most
take?
important thing with social media, especially with TikTok too. So I like TikTok much better than Instagram Reels because the algorithm's just stronger and it sends out information, or it curates its content better than Instagram Reels. But most important thing is, how am I adding value to the viewer's life, right? Because if you just say, hey, I just released a new song, and this person doesn't know you, like, why the fuck would they care about you releasing a new song? Whereas, you know, you can rephrase that. I wrote a song for you if you like Skrillex. Or even more, like, if you're a fan of Skrillex, Millennium, Marshmello, I made a song for you. So now you're giving them something, right? You can post the exact same video, but just like the headline, how you're framing it will be completely different. But, you know, if it's a bad content idea, it still won't go anywhere. But I think the most important thing is just being in the mindset of, how can I add value to this stranger's life? You know, thinking about your target audience. Who do you want to listen to your music? Who do you want consuming these videos? How can I make sure that my video is bringing them a bit of joy in their life? Helping them connect to their emotions a bit more. Just like thinking like, okay, how do I want people to feel when they see this video? Same with your music. How do you want people to feel when they hear your music? Exact same thing with content creation. It's almost art in a way. Does that make sense?
So would
Did I
it
answer
be
your question?
like, a little bit, like, yeah, so in a vague way. So like, because I know for
Oh
you,
yeah, no, your question was, what does well?
yeah, at least
What
what
does
does
well?
well, I know you can say what does well for you.
Yeah. A lot of things do well, and a lot of things don't. Some things that do well for you, I have tried, does not do well at all.
What have you tried?
Right? I've tried to copy your fucking content before.
What, really?
Yeah, just like doing the mashup. So what Lyrian does, and he's a great resource for content creation as well. But what he does, you know, he mashes up all these sounds and stuff, and posts a video of him, like, you know, kind of just like hyping it up. Song actually slaps, right? I have done stuff similar to that, just never fucking goes viral. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing that, right? It just doesn't feel right. So for you, that's why I gave you all those video examples, right? How you're gonna get better is you're gonna try out all these different videos types, right? Same thing, you're gonna try like making tech house, you're gonna try making rap music, you're gonna try making hip hop, indie soul, I don't know. And then you're gonna keep making this stuff until like something like works that you actually enjoy, you know? Obviously you gotta make sure you enjoy it, but you can't be doing something that like just doesn't work, right? But once you find that like nice little synergy, that's when you double down on that, right? But the only way you're gonna get there is by trying out all this different stuff, right? Again, it's an art, right? It's a skill. You gotta practice your content creation, right? You guys keep trying things until you find something that works for yourself.
Do you find that there are clues? Like, for example, if you're in like that 200 view jail, and then maybe you have a 500 view, and then maybe you have one that's like 1,000 and then 3,000. Do you find like there are clues in that, or like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, yes, you can look at the quantitative stuff, right? I think that's very, very important, you know, seeing like, okay, what, if something is doing better, like how can I double down on that? Maybe this 1,000 view video, you did something different than this 300 view video, right? So obviously like looking at that and seeing how you can replicate that. Something you want to also be sure of, like, you know, you don't only want to be chasing views. Like, we are talking about views and metrics and stuff, but I think the most important part is also always making something that you will be proud about, right? And just seeing like, okay, this got 1,000 views, but it was me dancing to that new Cat's Eye song. I fucking hated that. Let's never do that again. But these video series, that I'm doing of me composing all of these tracks, like Lyrian, right? They're fun. I'm enjoying them. People are starting to comment on it, like, hey, it's the same amount of views, but like people are like, I saw someone favorite this on another video. Oh, and I saw this one has 2 favorites. People started commenting this week. You know, just like really, really being as surgical as you can with it. And obviously, you know, if it's still not working, ask me, ask someone like Spitty, ask someone like Lyrian, you know, ask a professional, ask a friend. Finding mentors, finding friends who are in the same vein as you, and just seeing like what kind of feedback they can give you. I would say those are things that you can look at. I ask so many people for help, right? I know it is tough to ask for help sometimes, but the amount of questions I ask like these people, and like these aren't just like my friends. Like I'll message like the owner of this like billion-dollar company. I'll be like, yo, like how do I do this, and we'll just respond, right? And so that's how you kind of build these relationships, right? You just keep asking people questions. You actually follow their advice, right? Ask them more. People are inherently nice and they want to help, so like don't be afraid to ask for help. I say my DMs are always open. I don't know who here has asked me for help, right? But like I say like. You can always ask me for help. It might take me a while for me to DM you back, but I usually respond. Like Lyrian, like he asked me for some help. I ignored him, and then I called him like I think like a week after, right? And we had like a half-hour call about that stuff. Like I don't forget about this stuff, right? But like people want to help, so like ask people for help. But also like try and be surgical. See what you can learn on YouTube, self-learning, Google, ChatGPT. Just like how you can educate yourself on the same way you would educate yourself on how to make this specific synth lead, how to do this cool transition on DJing. Right? I know content creation is not our favorite thing, but it's going to pay off so much. It's going to pay off tenfold. That's how you're going to market yourself without paying, or without losing all your rights to a label.
So Instagram, TikTok, and then there's also YouTube Shorts. And earlier you mentioned that for Instagram, maybe the algorithm is not as targeted as TikTok is. So curious if your strategy for posting on Instagram is different from TikTok, and is TikTok different from how you would post on YouTube Shorts, for example?
I personally have very little success with YouTube Shorts. I think Spitty has success with YouTube Shorts. Is that right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. But I'm like, for me, as hardworking as you think I am, I'm also extremely lazy. So like that's why I'm able to spend like an hour on my content. I post like 28 videos. So how I do it now is like I will make one video that I really, really like, and then I'll post it. I have a social media schedule, one of those online scheduler things, right? I'll upload it there, and I'll post to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for me. And then sometimes it does well on TikTok, and then it gets like 0 views on Instagram, 4 views on Facebook, 5 views on YouTube. Maybe I'll post it again, right? Or post something else, right? 100 views on YouTube, 1,000 views on Instagram Reels, 2 views on the TikTok, and then like maybe like 500 views on Facebook. So what I'm trying to say is, with my videos, I just make sure that I'm proud of what I'm making. I have a good feeling that this is going to do well if I post it enough. I have a good feeling that this is a good piece of content, and then I just fire and forget, right? Because if you're just standing there just thinking like, how can I make this better? How can I make this better? Right? I don't know if you guys heard the analogy of like these kids like making 100 different pots, right? Versus like someone like trying to perfect like one pot, trying to perfect one song. Like you're gonna get much better at songwriting, making pots, doing whatever, if you just like make like 100 really, really bad songs, 100 really, really bad pots, as opposed to like trying to just make like one really, really, really good song, one really good pot, one really good beat, just like fire and forget. So I don't know how these algorithms really work. I know that they prioritize view time, right? The longer you can get someone to watch your video, the more that the algorithm will send the video out to more people. Say if like you have a video that held someone's attention for 5 seconds, that video is going to be much better than your video that only held people's attention for 2 seconds. And you're going to have a better video that holds people's attentions for 8 seconds, 9 seconds. That's what's going to get your video sent out by the algorithm. What was I getting to? Oh yeah, I don't know how these algorithms work, but like basically view time, how you can keep them on the platform for as long as possible. Right? That's basically the general idea of how social media algorithms work.
Okay, that's so sick. And I think that's, and I think it's super sick that you're like kind of sharing these concepts on different platforms and seeing what would work. So, for example, the video that you showed us with the surprised phase, if you see that video is working and you're like, okay, this is working, let's like repeat this idea if it's gonna work. How do you balance knowing like, this idea works, let me keep repeating it, versus like, let me try a new concept that might not?
Yeah, I think this kind of goes back to what we're talking about with Lyrian, with kind of being surgical with your analytics, like seeing like the views, like are the views actually good, or like are they increasing, are you getting more comments and stuff? And once you see something is working, right, let's figure out a system. Like I like figuring out systems. I'm like very like logistical about stuff, but like figuring out a system. How can I make this video faster, or how can I repost this video so I can start spending my time trying out new concepts? So right now, I don't know if my girlfriend's here. I think my girl's here, but like I have her posting, like I told her, I emailed her and be like, post this kind of video for me every single day, like and at 12 p.m. Right? So that way, she spends that time, she spends like those 10, 15 minutes posting that video for me, where I'll spend those 10, 15 minutes like trying out a new video content idea, or like editing a new video and seeing if that works. But if you have time for yourself, like unfortunately for me, I'm like working like 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day on this stuff. But I feel like you guys might have a bit more free time, but try just, you find something that works, keep posting that stuff, figure out a way to keep reposting it, and then spend your time trying out something new that you will be proud of. You will be proud of. I think that's very important as a musician. It fulfills your soul. Obviously, we care about metrics, but we always want to make sure it fulfills our soul as well.
When you say let's be surgical about metrics,
Yeah.
I like metrics too.
Okay.
So I know that you mentioned previously you had one viral video which sold 400 tickets, for example.
Okay.
Do you see similar percentage of conversion from views into ticket sales, or do you find that it's kind of different per concept, so that it's slightly harder for you to predict what sales look like? Okay, Here we go.
I got you. Oh wait, no, I'm going the wrong way. We'll go back to these other slides. So, when you're posting social media, again, back to what I said about, you want to be thinking about why you're posting that video, right? On a big scale, I want to get big on social media. I'm trying to go viral on social media. I'm trying to connect with this person. But also, thinking a bit more on a minuscule scale of thinking what you want this specific video to do for you, what you want people to do after watching your video. So, call to actions is very important. Something I see a lot of people don't put in their videos is follow for more. Follow me for more. There is nothing wrong with writing a little follow for more, because everyone knows if they see a video that they really, really like of yours, why would they be pissed if you're asking them to follow you? You're giving them an access. You're reminding them, hey, if you want more content, if you want to feel what I just made you feel, follow me. Nothing wrong with call to action. Search Alex Kade on Spotify. So going back to your metrics, if I'm trying to sell tickets with a video, I'll write link in bio for tickets, and I'll just see how that video did. Right? It's kind of hard to track that stuff, but you can see if you have a viral video, you can see that day's ticket sales on ticket sales on Eventbrite. Same with Spotify, right? You have a video that goes viral, and you wrote search Alex Kade on Spotify or listen to my song on Spotify, and you see a little spike in those streams. That's the way you can tell this was effective. But I think that just getting used to putting call to actions in your videos, not a massive follow for more that's across your whole screen, but just I do a little tiny one, just reminds you. It's not invasive or anything, right? It's not super, super salesy, but that's how you're gonna get people to do what you want them to do after watching your video. Leave a comment. That's what people are saying. Leave a comment. Remember to subscribe, right? People are stupid, right? They were forgetful, right? And even I will watch videos that I absolutely love and then just scroll past the creator because I forgot to follow them. I'm just I'm just doing something else, right? My mind's somewhere else. I'm oh, cool, I'm next, right? But if they tell me to follow, I'm oh shit, let me follow them, and then next, right? It takes them 2 seconds. No, 0.2 seconds to follow you on social media, right? So just remind them, nothing wrong with that. But that's not kind of how I track how well my videos are doing if I'm posting it with a specific goal.
Right. I can end. Okay. I think, we're running out of time, but this is very insightful. I know we can go hours and hours on this, but I think for now, I just want to say, Alex, you're an inspiration, at least to me, and I know you're an inspiration to all of us. You are I know for me, you're at that next level that I really want to go to, and you are also just a really genuine guy you've helped me so much, actually.
Thank you.
It's been a blessing to have met you, and it's people who know you, it's a blessing. They know it's a blessing. Anyone who is about to meet you, it's going to be a blessing, I assure you. You're so inspirational. You're so successful. You have this insane business mindset that I know that I wish I had. And you also...
It's a skill.
It's a skill
Practice.
that you can practice and get better at. Yes.
Just like content creation.
So thank you for that. And I want to thank you for, I guess, for me, you've lowered I guess not the bar to entry, but it seems accessible that we can all do, I think. We can all do this shit. And thank you for inspiring us and taking action and doing it and kind of paving the way for us. So thank you, Alex, for...
Thank you.
Come on, guys, one more time for Alex Kade. And another time for our lovely interviewer. intermission, like mingle, maybe talk to Alex Kade. I bet y'all have a lot of questions.
Thank you, bro.
Also, Base Spinach is here.
I
They
appreciate it.
create crazy brands, and like, I know some of y'all need t-shirts. I want to see your names on t-shirts. So go talk to them. Guys, please. In 15 minutes, we reconvene.
Can I actually?
Yeah.
I have a few more slides. I'm gonna run through this real fucking quick. All right. I know content creation takes a lot of time. Here's some speed hacks you can do, right? So if you're showing off your music, don't actually try and play it like on a drum pad. Fake it. It's gonna be way easier. Most people, everyone's lip syncing. No one is actually, like very few people are actually singing live. You hear it, it sounds like a record, it's probably a record, right? Do that, it's way quicker. Editing on your computer. My girlfriend loves editing on her phone. I do not agree with that at all, right? Edit on your computer. CapCut is not free anymore, but I'm sure there's a lot of free programs out there, or you can just pirate or torrent something. Repurposing content, audios, old songs. I posted the same video 4 times in a row until it went viral, right? So that's what you gotta do. And how you repurpose them, you can download them straight from TikTok, right? TikTok downloaders or IG downloaders, or just keep them on your computer so you have the raw files. I'm really bad at my DMs now. This was from 2 years ago. Message me if you have a video you posted and you really liked it, but you didn't get as much traction as you wanted it to. I might be able to help, but Lyrian and Spitty, those guys are very, very good at content creation. I know Spitty, he does a lot of music education as well. So if you guys need help, Spitty is my guy, right? I am a bit strapped on time. If I don't respond, please don't take it personally, but Spitty, he got time for you. So hit him up, he's fucking awesome. Wait, hold on. And then you guys know that you guys are all good musicians. You will be good musicians, great content creators if you practice enough, right? I am a perfectionist, but I'm also not. I'll get to a point, I'd say 70%, 60% is good for me, right? I'll post it out there because I know I've practiced so much on my skills that this is good enough, right? And there's videos that are recorded with a potato out there that go viral. So just fire and forget. Just post. Anyway, I'm done. Yes, sir.
How do you choose between your hashtags and time of day posts?
So with hashtags,
Go bingo.
You know what? Go talk. People want to hear.
yeah. So with hashtags, hey, this mic. Yeah. So it's a mix. So how hashtags work? Instagram, they've changed it now. If you use a hashtag with that video will be only sent to followers of that hashtag as well as your own followers, and it won't get sent to random people. So for me, I don't really use hashtags, but also, right, there are times where hashtags will work because so how these algorithms work too, if you post a video, it'll send it out to 10 random people. And it'll see how much they watch, if they like it, right? And it'll judge if that video should be sent out to 10 more people, right? And that's that's how you kind of end up shadow banned because it just hit 10 people who really fucking hate your video. Whereas, bro, I have videos that are at 10 views, 100 views. It happens to me too. I just got unlucky. But there's other times where that's why I keep posting. I posted the same video, right, 4 times in a row. I didn't edit it at all. The first 3 times, nothing. The last time, it just kept hitting the right people. So what I would suggest is post a video, right? Don't use hashtags. See how it does, right? Next week, post the same video. Use some hashtag. See how it does, right? And do that. Repost the same video over the next 5 months, right? Because you're not only focusing on one video because you're still making other videos, right? You're still working on your content creation, right? But that's how you're gonna see is this working or is this not working, right? For TikTok, I don't think it matters too much. Never use hashtag FYP. That does not work. But something you can try is looking at other creators who are similar to you, right? Who have viral videos and just copying their hashtags and seeing if that works. I have videos that have hashtags that do well. I have videos that don't have hashtags that do well, right? And I also have videos that have hashtags that don't do well. Videos that don't have hashtags that don't do well. So it's
Just move the whole table over.
pick or choose. Yeah. I'm happy to answer any more questions, but we're gonna mingle.